A very good afternoon to you. Coming up on the marketplace this afternoon, of course, the cost of living projected to go up following the marginal increase in the prices of petroleum products at the pumps over the weekend. Also, the Ghana Union of Traders Association suspects arson as cases of market fire increases.
The great majority of us, over 90%, we sit on the fence, behind the fence on the political arena, and then we will not allow just a few to take the great majority of us for a ride.
We have details on this. Also, how do you manage the Christmas traffic? A transport consultant joins us as major streets in Accra remain choked ahead of the festive season. Once again, stay with us for more on these stories coming up shortly after this break. Hello once again, you're welcome to the program. The cost of living is expected to go up in the coming days. This follows a marginal increase in the prices of petroleum products at the pumps. We have more details in this report. The projected increase in the cost of living in the coming days has been influenced by the adjustment in prices of petroleum products over the weekend. This was after some of the major oil marketing companies that control a significant part of the market in the country reviewed their prices. Already, Shell and Total have upped their prices. When you drive to Shell service station, you're likely to pay for a liter of diesel and petrol at 4 cedis 95 pesos. About 5 pesos shy of hitting the 5 cedi mark. While for Total, 4 cedis 85 pesos is the selling price per liter of diesel and petrol. This should mean that a gallon of fuel at Shell will be going for 22 cedis 27 pesos. While that of Total, a gallon now should be sold at 21 cedis 82 pesos. So let's say that if you were doing 5 gallons every day for a week, your budget should be up about 106 cedis 35 pesos. The adjustment, we understand, has been influenced by the rising prices of finished petroleum products on the international market. This is due to the discovery of COVID-19 vaccine and how that could lead to the easing of restrictions, thereby leading to the opening up of some economies. The move is expected to impact the purchases of petroleum products. Locally, fuel plays a significant part in the cost component of businesses and manufacturing firms. Now, following this adjustment, most firms will see their cost of production going up, which they in turn will pass it on to the consumer, a move that will lead to prices of goods and services shooting up. For the structured or regulated driver unions, we can be assured for now that transport fares may not be going up anytime soon. However, the same cannot be said of taxis and other transport operators that are not regulated. This could also influence the cost of foodstuffs and other items sold by market women as they try to deal with the new cost of doing business because of the hike in fuel prices. With more than 100 oil marketing companies in Ghana, if the Big Five that controls more than 40% of the market indeed adjust their prices, then it looks like there is no escape for all of us, the consumers. We're trying the best we could to get in touch with Duncan Amoa of COPEC to get his thoughts on this new development. As and when we do get him, we shall pull him through. But to another developing story, the Ghana Union of Traders Association suspects arson as the main cause of various market fires in the country. In December alone, 5 major market fires have been recorded with causes yet to be known. Addressing the media, the president of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Ben, demands full security protection of market centers. He also demands the modernization of various market centers to suit trading activity. He spoke to the media upon visiting the grounds of the fire.
We demand immediate forensic investigation into these fire outbreaks. All manner of explanations are coming true. We are not going to take it unless forensic investigation has been done and the proper solution is put to this. Otherwise, we can't continue to contain this pain. We are also saying that the government should give us security we seek security, and we employ our government to deploy as a matter of urgency our security forces to mine all these structures. It doesn't make sense that the market that is being, the construction of it, the building of the market is being affected by government and political leaders should be bent by same political leaders. It doesn't make sense. And I don't want to believe that this is political motivated. If it is, then I want such politicians that this is not the target. The target should be the people who benefit directly from politics. They should identify them and burn their properties, not ours. We are innocent people. We just go and vote as our mandate and come and continue to do our business. We will not condone this. I want also to appeal to all politicians to give us a respect. Business thrives of peace. We seek for remodernization of our markets, that will restructure them to suit the trading habitation. And this is what we seek from the government. The great majority of us, over 90%, we sit on the fence, behind the fence on the political arena, and then we will not allow just a few to take the great majority of us for a ride.
Well, let's also hear from the national organizer of GUTA, Clement Boateng, who is raising much concern about the incessant market fires in the country.
This disaster should not be seen as affecting only traders whose goods and other properties got burnt, but it also has a disastrous effect on the economy of the country as a whole. There is therefore the urgent need for the government and the private sector to carefully think through this rapid rise in the fire outbreak with the seriousness it deserves and tackle it with dispatch. The unimaginable frequency of the occurrence of the fire outbreak in the market gives sufficient grounds for suspicion of arson in the matter, and as a result, GUTA wishes to earnestly appeal to the government to, as a matter of urgency, set up an independent committee of experts in investigation to probe into the real cause of these frequent fire outbreaks in our markets, so as to find lasting solution to it and save traders in the country from such unpleasant situation. Much as we trust that the government will come to the aid of all those affected by the disaster, we still wish to appeal for an expedite action to mitigate their predicaments.
Well, let's stay a little longer on the Kaneshie market fire, because traders there say they feel less safe following the increase in market fires. They fear that this could skyrocket the cost of production moving forward, especially as Christmas nears.
Lights in the in fact high. Lights in the high pan. Son say, "Son, you must share, you must share." Son, I am to market when you see you must share. You are safe. I was saying, see, yes, Rabbi. Oh my boy, yes, Stranapa, electricity, and near my being a high and yes, I buy some on my boy. And yes, I can cry. You must share and say, "You need media a baba." Actually, yes, Rabbi. On my style, yes, Strano.
So she's the trader here, and she's saying that all they need currently is security from the part of government. When it comes to the electrification of this market center, they are much more concerned about how safe the electrification is. They believe this could also have been one of the causes of the fire. So let me break in this lady too as well. How do you feel as a trader? Not just Kantamanto, Kaneshie, even the eastern region, Takrade elsewhere. How concerned are you?
Please, here, this market, we don't bring electrician from outside to come and do our job for us. They do the job. So we don't know if it is electrical fault or not. So we want security, we want protection. Because if you look at this Edna's shop, the shop owner, her name is Edna. And if you see how her shop is bent, I don't know how she's feeling right now. And we are all in pain. So we are calling on the authorities to help her, to do do something for her because we don't know. Her shop is very filled and we don't know how she is feeling right now. We don't bring electrician from outside. So if it is electrical fault, then they have to check it for us.
Guta guys are saying it could be arson. It could be someone who has been paid to burn down the market center.
We have heard of that. When Katamanto got burnt, we heard that it is some hide people who are burning the market. So we don't know. And we heard that they said they will burn Domi market too. We don't know. So if it is some people, the security should be tight so that they prevent people from coming inside.
What about you? How concerned are you? We are concerned. We are concerned. How concerned are you?
I'm not concerned because I'm also a seller here. And what really matters me is whenever we are close, we have our main switch. We switch, baby. We switch off. We switch the switch off. So we wonder where the fire comes from. So we are very curious. We are curious.
So you feel it's arson? Is that what you feel? Someone came to burn the place down?
Well, I can't say that, but we are wondering where the fire comes from. Because whenever we are closing, everyone must switch his meter off. So we don't know where the fire comes from. Yeah.
Thank you. Boss, so you are the brother to the lady who, you are the shop owner.
It's my sister.
How are you taking the news? She just came here, realized that everything got burnt. Tell us
that very fateful day. We were here around 8 o'clock. We left here 8 p.m. in evening. So we got home around 10 then, and the call started coming that the connection is burning. I said,
the frustration and, of course, concerns raised by some traders at Kaneshie Market following the fire outbreak that ravaged sections of the market on Sunday. Let's still stay on Christmas issues because ahead of the festivities, traders at the Techiman Central Market say that sales is much more ongoing. My colleague Anas Sabet has been speaking to them and has come through with this report.
So the elections are over finally, and Christmas is just around the corner. This is the Techiman Central Market. We're engaging traders here to find out how sales have been this festive season. I want to find out from them whether business is booming or is the opposite. Let's get interactive with these traders in the market.
Oh, Jane, come on. It's when you're there, baby, I shut up. But they say, Ankasan, we're winning Koloya by NT.
Business is booming here, even though it slowed down at a point as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. But as you can see, we are making sales now. The Christmas market is good except that the prices are high, so people are unable to buy as expected. Buyers are here in their numbers now, and we are happy. Things slowed down before the elections, and business is booming now. A week ago, the atmosphere here in the Techiman municipality was full of tension because of the political violence that took place at the Coalition Center. As a result, a lot of these buyers were not in the market. But this week, the traders here say the businesses has improved tremendously.
A
week ago, there was tension in the municipality and people couldn't come to the market as expected. But they are here this week and everything is okay.
And to say one factor, because somewhere Wednesday, last Wednesday.
That is one factor. Because of the violence last Wednesday, those in the rural communities got scared of coming here. So that affected us a lot.
One factor.
We've
recorded higher sales this week, much better than last week, which was marred by the political violence.
From Wednesday up to end that day,
whilst a couple of them say this particular week is far better than the previous one, others are of the view that sales is not booming as expected. Socrates is one of them.
My kind of said this year,
enye se eba dwom 19 years ni Christmas we
sales this Christmas has been terrible. I've been here for the past 19 years, but this Christmas has been the worst. We also make about 1,000 cedis a day during Christmas. I could not make 300 cedis yesterday. How about the buyers who are here in their numbers to trade ahead of the Christmas? Kobna Kabiata Toban says even though there is enough goods in the market, the prices are quite too high.
There are goods
in the market, but they are very expensive. We all need these items, but we can't afford them because of their prices. So from the Techiman Central Market here in the Bono East region, my name is Anas Sabit for JoyNews.
Well, if you have been driving around town, you realize how congested the streets are. Now, these are some shots that reveal how bad the situation is around some major streets of Accra. What's accounting for this? And is this a matter of holiday revelers journeying through town or a poor traffic network system across the country? Cecil Gabra is a transport consultant and he joins us for more via Zoom. We're so grateful, Cecil, that you could be a part of this discussion. First of all, you drove around town, you've seen how congested traffic is. Whose fault is it? Are we having a challenge with our traffic systems?
Well, we have thousands of visitors and commuters visiting Accra during this Christmas period. The central business district becomes the destinations for everyone during this festivities, so you don't blame anybody. That's the first point. Many are seen to buy and sell. They come to Accra, they come to purchase and go and sell. Others are also window shopping. The pavements and streets that we all walk on are choked with human activities, and this affects traffic, whether we like it or not. In view of this, excessive use of road infrastructure has gone beyond its capacity. I'm talking about the pavements and the roads itself. And then secondly, there is also the issue of bad attitude of drivers. Many of them are disobeying traffic. They park everywhere. They are overtaking, doing wrongful overtakings, and then alighting and picking up passengers everywhere. I'm talking about both taxis and trotros. Right. So in this respect, this is where I believe that the way forward can solve the issue. The way forward, obviously, is that we need a force. You cannot stay and say that driving doesn't need any enforcement. Whether we like it or not, we need enforcement. And then we need the collaboration of Accra Metropolitan Authority and the Accra Central Motor Traffic Transport Department, that's the MTTD, and deploying more policemen and maybe more city guards to solve this issue. It's only for 1 week. After 1 week, the pressure comes down. Right. Now, we also need to arrest and prosecute recalcitrant motorists. Many of them will flout the road regulations. And this is the time where they must face the laws. However, I don't think there's any issue of where we'll say road accidents will also be on the increase. It will come from us if we're only disciplined. So on the issue of traffic congestion, I feel that people must be very cautious and we must also be doing the right thing. After all, Christmas is only a few days. Why do you have to rush and get yourself knocked down by a vehicle? Right, the pavements must be controlled by the authority, okay? If we need to cut on the pavement from the streets, this is an opportunity that we can use. Right, so the traffic congestion builds from Accra and it goes everywhere. Once traffic is in Accra, that's a central business point for everybody. And once it's in Accra, it flows down to everywhere. So that's the situation at the moment.
So we're so grateful for your thoughts on this one. We shall be monitoring the case of traffic in town to get you updates. But let's end on this note, because green financing remains one of the key issues that most of us might find expensive. But if you enter deeper into the analysis, it's clear to see that the perception of this technology being expensive is untrue. Here's CalBank saying that it is making huge gains from this new construction bid. Of course, as it saves 37% in electricity costs due to solar and zero cost for power. There is more in this report.
Going green simply means employing technologies or making some conscious effort at including sustainability in everyday life. I have come to the CalBank head office, where the building is green. At the very entrance, all trees were kept during construction except 2. Immediately, the bank embarked on a carbon offsetting program by planting 500 more trees. Inside, I meet Yao Banafo taking me on a tour. He says the bank has installed solar, which makes as much as 37% savings on the power consumed from the national grid. When no one is around, the lights simply go off.
So the lights are all censored across the entire facility, including what we just saw. And this is the case also in the office spaces and all of that. So the lights are configured to come on at a certain time in the morning, and by a certain time in the evening they go off. All the lights in the building, except of course the security lights. And we also do recognize that people may be working late. So we leave the spotlights in the offices also on, but it's just to sort of provide illumination for security staff at night. But otherwise all central lights go off at a certain time.
The head office building takes no water from the Ghana Water Company. To top it all, water is segregated so that treated water is not used for everything. Well, if you thought it's over, wait for this one. While the air condition keeps blowing, at a point it goes off automatically and fresh air comes into the building, which is also cool. CalBank says it wants other businesses and individuals to be equally sustainable and has set aside $30 million in loans.
We've gone ahead and borrowed international money. That is dedicated towards green funding. Okay. So if it's energy efficiency, when typically on the market everybody is giving you a 1-year loan, 2-year loan, we do a minimum 3 years if it's energy efficiency. If it is renewable energy, then we look at transactions for minimum 5 years and above. So you can go up to 7 years, depending on what your cash flow is like. Everybody touts this. It's capital intensive, and we be mindful of that. So we give you a longer term, the cash flow pressure on you is a lot less, and then you spread it over that long term. Yes, we look at the interest rates as well, and in partnership with the organizations that we've borrowed from, what it is we limit how much in fees that we can take from you. So they've looked at the typical lending rates. We've looked at a reduction in the interest rate. Don't ask me what, because it is per transaction. But we make sure that it's lower than the cost of borrowing in the bank or in the markets.
Power of green financing, that's how we end the marketplace. My name is Charles Ayote. Join me at 5 p.m. on Business Live. Good afternoon.